It's the early hours of the morning when I awake to a knock on my door. Both Virginia and Ellen are asleep, so I get up slowly, rubbing my eyes as I go. "Tommy?" I ask quietly as I open the door. My eyes blink to adjust to the lighting, and instead I see Professor Grabiner. Ellen groans and stirs as the light from the corridor hits her, and I immediately step out into the hallway with grabby pants and shut the door a bit behind me, keenly aware that I am in a nightshirt that is way too short to disguise the fact that I'm only wearing panties. Sir, I begin. He holds up his hand to stop me. I have simply come by to deliver your campaign materials, as there have been some changes from last year. Campaign? I blink at him. Oh, I don't think I'm running this year, sir. Oh? I still haven't looked at him directly. The lights are really bright, and I still feel half asleep. Minnie said she wanted to run with Jacob as her running mate, or something, so I figure I'd just let her have it. Despite what Miss Cochran may want, it is tradition for you, as the former treasurer of the freshman class, to at least run. I'll expect you in my office this afternoon to discuss campaign strategies. I sigh as I take the book from him. Custom is the king of all, I guess. What was that? He snaps, and his tone finally got me to look at him directly. It's just a phrase I heard somewhere. I yawn into my elbow. Sorry, I'm really tired. Can I go back to bed now, sir? Of course, Miss Brown, he says, but there's something in his tone that suggests he has more to say. I give it a second, but when no words come, I walk inside and shut the door behind me. Was that Crabby Pants outside? Virginia murmurs groggily. Yeah, campaign stuff, I murmur as I pull the blankets back over me. And you went out dressed like that? Virginia giggles sleepily. I bet old Grabby was checking you out. Push, I say and roll over, because there's nothing else to say. Regardless, something about what she says stays with me, and I fall into a fitful sleep. Today is my first class with Professor Coleman, and Virginia is right. He is hot. Very hot. Tall, short dark hair, just a hint of facial scruff, his muscles barely being contained by his robes. Considering the attendance to his classes, I'm guessing he's the object of affections of both boys and girls alike. He's sure to get a ton of Valentine's Day cards this year. Even Ellen, who usually isn't fond of red magic, is in attendance. There's something calm and authoritative about the way he teaches, showing us that with red magic you had to be calm but disciplined, trained but reckless. It was almost like a philosophy, and it was much different than the way Professor Grabiner ever taught his classes. After class, I'm about to leave with Ellen and Virginia when he calls me over. Virginia winks at me, and I let Ellen literally drag her away as I turn to face him. Hello, sir. Ah, Tori, he says. First time I'm seeing you in class. Yes, I hesitate. Virginia recommended your lectures. She said that they were very, educational. Did she now? Coleman mused. Your roommate's got a great grasp on the red arts, but she could use a bit more discipline. She's a tad reckless. Oh, she totally is. I agree. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about, he continued. Thomas mentioned to me that you have done a fantastic job tutoring him for the exam. Oh, thank you, I say, then pause. I'm sorry, how do you know Thomas? I thought Professor Grabiner was the teacher for red magic for freshmen. He is, but Thomas has been coming to me personally for lessons, he says. Finds Grabiner a little hard to swallow. Doesn't everybody? I say lightly, and he chuckles in agreement. Yes, he's difficult, to say the least. He cocks his head to the side as if he's about to continue, but then decides against it. Anyway, Tori, I don't know if you know, but this is my first year teaching here at Iris Academy, and I'm glad to see students helping each other learn. If you need anything at all, don't be afraid to come to my office. Oh, thank you, sir, I stammer as he shakes my hand. It's so big it completely envelopes mine. Oh, please, He waves his hand dismissively. I know how the other teachers can be, but feel free to call me Jason. Okay, I stammer. Jason. With a pleasant nod and a wink, he walks off and I'm left standing there, my hand still dangling in midair where he left it, a bright crimson flush across my cheeks. Oh my gosh! Virginia comes rushing in almost as soon as he's out of the room. She dashes over and hugs me as Ellen simply rolls her eyes behind her. I saw that! He winked at you. He was being friendly? I offer. Oh, please. Virginia gives me a look. He told you to call him Jason. You're on a first-name basis already. Virginia. I grab her arm as someone enters the room. Admit it, you totally have the hots for him, Virginia teased. By this point, Ellen let out a small cry of alarm that caused Virginia to whirl around. Oh, Professor Grabiner. He narrowed his eyes at them but did not look at me. Miss Brown, I thought you were supposed to meet me in my office to discuss your campaign. We held her up. We're sorry, Ellen says quickly, grabbing Virginia's arm and pulling her out of the room. We'll just be, going. Virginia shoots me a quick look of embarrassment before they duck out of the room. Professor Grabiner shuts the door behind him, and I feel my stomach lurch. I can feel the heat on my cheeks. I don't like to be kept waiting, Miss Brown, he says as he turns around. He looks angry. I'm sorry, sir, I say quickly, looking down at my feet. It's not their fault. Professor Coleman wanted to speak to me after class. Oh, is he the one that you have the hots for? He asks. My eyes immediately dart up to his face, my jaw dropping open slightly. He's taunting me. I don't know. I am not attracted to my teacher. Sir. I stammer awkwardly. He seems to be enjoying my awkwardness. Oh no? Then who are you attracted to? His voice is plain, but there is an unmistakable note of cruelty hidden in there somewhere. I bite my lip for a moment, thinking, before looking back up at him. Just my studies, sir. I keep my face as straight and earnest as possible, and the answer seems to satisfy him. Good girl, he relents. That's all you should be concerned with at the moment. I sigh and can almost feel an invisible weight lift from my shoulders. Now, as far as your campaign goes, have you given any thought to your campaign name? Can't it just be the same stuff as last year? I ask. Lady Lampshadehead. His face falls and I blush. It's still unique, I say, and people will remember it, and that I won, so that should give me some points. Maybe? Perhaps, he says. Is there any money you want to spend on your campaign? No, I shake my head. I still have the extra old posters and badges in the mailroom from last year. And who's going to help you campaign this year, he asks. Your roommates? Yeah, Virginia and Ellen. I count them off on my fingers. Donald will probably help too. He's Virginia's brother. Maybe some others and, Thomas, I guess. That freshman boy? He raises an eyebrow. Yes, well, I stammer. I've been tutoring him and I don't want you tutoring anyone, he says sharply. You're only a second year and there's a lot that you don't know and a lot that could go wrong. I pout. But Professor Coleman said, he is new here, Grabiner says sharply. He doesn't know our rules, but I'll make sure to enlighten him. A smirk spreads across his lips. Any other questions? I bite my lip. No, sir. Then I suggest you get back to studying. I dip my head and make my way past him out into the corridor with a huff. Did I even want to campaign? If I won, it would mean putting up with Grabby for another whole year. Do I really want that? I frown and make my way towards the dorms. Hopefully Ellen and Virginia will be able to help me figure that out.